Willow. We watched the first episode and talked about it last
That's right.
podcast. And this podcast, we are going to talk about episodes 2 and 3.
Yes, we're all caught up.
So let's warn everyone, there will be spoilers.
Willow spoilers.
We're watching.
Willow spoilers.
Willow.
Yep.
And so here we go. Episode 2, The High Aldwin.
Yes. So this is basically, they've got back to Willow, and Willow's like, "Hey, you're Laura Dannon. You're like the bomb. I need to teach you how to
be magic.
How to be magical, but we're gonna start small.
Yeah.
We'll start with a test. Which finger?"
And this is from the movie.
Yeah.
Which finger contains the magic?
Yeah.
And he holds up his,
and he's like,
5 fingers or 4
you're supposed
fingers.
to point at it, and he's like, your finger. But she doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So anyway, she fails the test. But this is like in the little town of the Elwyn people, in their cool little cave they live in.
Yeah, they're underground.
All that stuff. It was interesting seeing like Willow's daughter.
Yeah, because I think it's the same one.
Man, that'd be cool as hell if it was.
I should look.
That'd be very cool if it was. I like it when they do that. Because yeah, they got like Sorsha back, and I don't think it's the same Laura Dannon, obviously, but
yeah, probably not.
Because that girl would be like 40.
Yeah.
So actually, it probably isn't the same girl because she'd look way too old. I think she looked too young to be the same daughter for Willow. I could be wrong, but she looked pretty young. But they decide that what's the whole deal in this episode? They're all like, we're gonna be the new Fellowship of the Ring, a Fellowship of the Laura Dannon.
Yeah, Fellowship of the Laura Dannon. This is them planning to get out there and go, because they're just gonna go. Willow, they just leave.
Yeah.
And Willow's like, no, we need to train.
Yeah. So, and he wants to start small.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, does he think she's gonna blast herself apart if she just learns magic right off the bat?
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know. He's the High Aldwin, so he knows what's up.
Essentially the village chief.
Yeah. And he's supposed to be the last sorcerer or something like that.
Yeah.
But Kit is just like, is he even magical? I ain't seen him do any magic.
I haven't seen any magic whatsoever.
Exactly.
And that's basically the whole part of this whole thing of this episode is, he doesn't do magic. He had magic out of anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Even the next episode is like that as well.
Basically.
Yeah.
But he wants her to grow a seed, basically, to start with her training of whatever.
Yeah.
And she's frustrated that she can't get her magical powers working, basically.
Yeah, so he's just like, you just have to repeat these magic words and believe it.
The scene was funny where she couldn't really pronounce them properly and kept screwing them up and everything like that. Some of the interactions I enjoy, like Borman is a pretty funny guy.
Yeah, Borman's awesome.
But I do agree, like they just talk too modern in the show.
Very modern.
It's just, it'd be better. I don't remember Willow the movie, so I don't know how they talked in that, but it's just the way they talk is very modern in this show.
Yeah.
So that kind of like,
I mean, it's a kid show.
I guess so, but
they don't want kids learning how to talk old timey, I guess.
But like even more formal, like, just when they're talking to like Sorsha and stuff like that, she's the queen basically, but they're like, barely even tell that she's a different. Not that like, I mean, okay, this is like for in fiction or whatever, but like if they were like, you're gonna meet the queen, you can't look at her in the eye and you have to call her Royal Highness, you have to bow, I'd be like, fuck that, I'm not bowing to anybody, get the fuck out of here. I'm not calling anyone your Royal Highness.
Yeah,
maybe I'll call her ma'am, but like, I'm not bowing to anybody, get the fuck out of here. So anyways,
yeah, and this one, what's his face, the regent guard captain or whatever, comes upon the Nelwyn village and realizes that they're not there, and
he was on the verge of killing them.
Yeah, but then they disappeared into the day. Rather.
That would be Ballantine.
Yeah, Ballantine.
Yeah,
and they're
or
off.
Valentine, I can't remember.
And they're off on the chase now.
Yeah. So, besides the training and Kit being a bitch, and I shouldn't say she's a bitch, but she's like, is she even magical? This is bullcrap.
Yeah.
It's just her trying to get her little seed growing. The other guy, the prince guy, he like gives her like a little pep talk kind of like, you know, you are special or whatever.
Yeah. You are special.
You know, she continues to try to do her little magical bean growth. And right at the end, she gets frustrated and is like getting upset about it. And it's like, oh, she finally did it probably. But she gets hit in the head by Valentine and drags her away.
Yeah, she just gets mad and starts screaming the words,
yeah.
the magical words. This, I'm like struggling trying to remember this episode because I think it was fairly forgettable.
Yeah, it was mostly just like the Elwyn, like, you know.
The Elwyn village and that, and Mims.
Yeah. And like, you know, her, you know, telling Willow he has to go on the journey with them and all that stuff. So it was just like I don't want to say filler episode, but it was just like a little bit of background information. I watched these with subtitles on just because like the speaker in my TV kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And I have to like, even if I turn it up like max volume, I won't be able to tell what's being said sometimes. So I always have subtitles on. So at the end of this episode, when she gets hit on the head and it starts, you know, the end of the show starts, it starts playing a song and it just said indie music starts playing. But then I was like, is this a cover of the Hurdy-Gurdy Man? And it's calling it an indie music? Like Hurdy-Gurdy Man is like a classic 60s song. But I was like, indie music? What the fuck? But I mean, I guess because that's the style of the cover or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is the friggin' Hurdy-Gurdy Man, which you probably would know if you hear it, if you don't know what it is by name. So this episode is has a lot of Borman talking about the Curus. The magical Curus that Mad Mardigan went out to find. Yes. And how they're going to find it. And Kit's asking a lot of questions about her dad.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you got to think Val Kilmer's got to show up in this as like a CGI dude or something, right?
Maybe.
I mean, he can't talk anymore, so...
Yeah. I mean,
AI trained his voice.
That's for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
So this episode, this synopsis I'm looking at, the episode, they have an episode review.
Yeah.
And it's like, Kit is the worst character in this, and I hope she gets killed off soon.
Well, of course she's not going to get killed off. Come on. Not.
I can't work out whether she's intentionally supposed to be an awful character or is going to learn humility and soften up a bit as the season goes on.
She's like a spoiled princess. Yeah. Like, what do you think?
Straight up spoiled princess.
We even find up in the next episode, like, you know, jump ahead a bit, where she's like, I think I can take care of myself. I always beat you in the duels. And Jade's like, and she's like, are you saying you let me win? She's like, well, you're the fucking princess.
Of course.
Of course I let you win. It's my job.
Yeah.
So, but the next episode is basically we got to rescue Elora from Valentine.
Yeah.
Because he's got her. She escapes early in the episode and somehow runs into a mystical lesbian lumberjack scene.
Yeah, this was
a very weird thing for me.
Yeah, she's riding on the back of the horse all over, and then she manages to cut her bonds on Valentine's sword, and then just runs off into the deep forest.
She does.
She does, and then it's weird. She comes across this mystical lumberjack forest camp where it's all like dark and misty and brooding out, and then she gets to the camp and it's all like light and bubbly out, and you're like, oh, okay. And I'm like, what kind of illusion magic is this? Like, who's gonna mess you up?
Yeah.
What is happening here?
Yeah. And she's just like, well, you know, you got to help me. The men are coming for me. And they're like, I bet they are. And it's just like, what is the, I didn't understand.
It was such a weird scene.
Yeah. I don't understand. Like, was it, we need a filler section here or what?
And then Valentine shows up. It gets all dark.
Yeah. And then they're like,
just kills them both.
Well, I mean, the one lumberjack woman is like, don't worry, I got this axe. And they have a little fight, and it looks like I got the best of him. I stabbed him in the back with an axe. And he's like, psych, and kills her.
Yeah.
And then the other two run away. They kind of reminded me of Penn and Teller, because the one woman didn't have any lines.
Yeah.
She was just reacting to the other woman. So Laura Dannon and the girl run away. And they get caught, and she's like, oh, I'll go with you, please. Don't kill her. I'll go with you. And they kill her anyways. And Valentine's like, see, this is your fault. Yep. You caused this to happen.
You caused it. But it was such a weird scene. The characters were great.
They were interesting.
It was But it was so out of place that I was like constantly thinking like, okay, what's going to happen? What is going on? What is this illusion? Are you going to get kidnapped like this? Like, what's going on? But no, Valentine just shows up, kills the one girl, and then they run off and the other guys kill the other one. So I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah. It was like they just needed to fill some time.
Yeah. And meanwhile, the cart that Willow and the other guys were in broke down.
Yep.
The wheel fell
broke off.
And so they managed to fix it, and they're like, well, you guys go this way, we'll go that way.
Yeah, there's two different ways. There's like through the Dread Pass or something like that, and then there's through the bosom fields or something like that. I don't even remember what they're
fields.
Yeah. And the ones are like, well, this way's shorter, I want to go that way, and the other one's like, but the other one sounds way nicer. So they kind of split up.
Yeah, Borman and Kit go off the wrong way, and Kit's like, well, you go to the boob field, whatever.
Yeah.
And she actually says that.
So
funny.
Before that too, there was a scene where Borman, I think right at the start of the episode, Borman is telling the story of going with Mad Mardigan to find the cuirass. And he's like, and then we went into the depths of the blah, 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 and we did this and that. And Kit's like, can we just get to the part where you talk about my dad? And Borman's like, kids these days, like, you can't tell them they don't want to know anything about history and blah, blah, blah. And, and then Kit says something about like, well, what about this? And then he goes back instantly into his storyteller voice where he's like, and then we went into the deep dark forest. And I just was cracking up at the way he switched his voice to just tell his story up. So it was pretty funny.
And so Kit and Borman are going off to this little village that has a pub called like the Slaughtered Lamb or Slaughtered Lamb or whatever. Yeah. And apparently it's a really nice place and he likes to go there and eat food and drink.
But he's also a liar.
They show up at the village and there's nothing there.
It's all destroyed. And she's like, did you know this? He's kind of like, well,
yeah,
I haven't heard from him in a while.
And they go down to this underground place.
Yeah.
And there's a well underneath there, and he's just like, he tosses the bucket down the well, and he's like,
I'm going down there.
Yeah, cover. Just watch out for were-rats, and then he just jumps in the well.
And she's like, what's a were-rat? And he's like, what does it sound like? So he's in the well digging around. He finds the little, I don't even know what it is, power cell for the cuirass? I don't even know.
Yeah, so the thing we learned about the cuirass is that it's got a power cell, something that prevents other people from using it, I guess. And he has that in that well.
And he's just like down there. He finds it, puts it in his pocket. He's like, yeah, I don't think there's anything down here. You should pull me up. Well, it's time to go or whatever. And then she's like, I think the were-rat's here. And he's like, okay, don't pull me up. So she kills a were-rat. But then there's like 50 fucking were-rats chasing them. So they run away from there. But they manage to end up at the same exact spot where Valentine is with Elora Danan and Willow.
Yeah.
They all end up in the same spot. So.
And then a big fight ensues.
Kind of convenient.
Yeah, everyone just ends up in the same spot.
I mean, it is a kid's show, so whatever. There's a nice little fight going on where Jade's fighting Valentine and, Kit's fighting the other dude. Yeah. Borman's fighting another dude. Things are not going too well for the squad. What's Willow's buddy's name?
Nockmar?
No. Siris?
Yeah, Silas. Silas or Silas, something like that.
He gets knocked down, so Willow's like, oh shit, I better do something here.
And then he goes mad mode.
So he fucking casts a spell and just beats the shit out of all the bad guys.
Oh yeah, just magics them right away.
So I'm wondering if this was like Willow's one magic shot here.
Maybe.
He was so paranoid about if I use up my magic, and he was very hesitant to do any magic.
Yes.
And then he just goes ham and fucking does a huge crazy spell.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll see Willow doing magics anymore or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. He was very run down after that, and they're apparently on the steps to Nockmar in the distance. And so that's where they're going.
Are we supposed to know what that is?
Yeah. Oh. I don't know. Maybe.
Because the movie?
I
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll look it up. Because they're it looks like we're supposed to know what that is.
But I mean, are they thinking all these kids that are watching this would know what that is from the movie? I guess I don't know. Anyways, who knew where it was? Borman? No, I can't remember who. One of them knew what it was. Oh, the other thing too in this whole thing, they're being chased by an evil cloud.
Yeah.
The woman, what's her name? The old crone or whatever. Crone. She sent a cloud of evil.
Okay, so Nockmar is a place that we should know about.
Okay. So they're like, oh, it's Nockmar, and it's a very ominous looking city with like, abandoned city times, basically.
Yeah.
All destroyed and shit. So that's where they're going in the next episode. So we'll see what happens in the next one.
Yeah. This episode was much better than the second episode.
I liked it. I mean, I liked the second episode too.
But it was mostly forgettable.
Yeah.
I think, because I couldn't even remember anything that happened.
Yeah.
They kind of just blurred together, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. Jade had a nice scene with Valentine.
Yep, because I guess Valentine was like a father to her.
So she had to take him out, slice him up. Man, her hair looks crazy in this series. Like her red curly hair.
That's how it is in everything. That's just natural.
It's crazy hair, man.
Yeah, I think it might just be natural because that's how it was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier as well.
Oh yeah, just so crazy.
Oh yeah, it's huge and red and crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm enjoying it still. You gotta like look at it who's the target audience.
Yeah, and that's how you have to watch it and enjoy it for.
People can't do that.
No, they sure can't.
People, and they also I haven't heard anyone complaining about Willow, really.
That's probably because no one's watching it.
Yeah, maybe. But I just remember with Miss Marvel and She-Hulk, just the fucking hatred for it. And it's like, did you even watch the show? Are you just repeating what people have said?
That's probably what it was.
So, but
yeah,
I like Willow.
Yeah, I'm liking it because I'm watching it as a child would, it's just whatever,
I mean, I don't know if I'm watching as a child would, but I'm suspending
Yeah, you're not expecting some sort of super high budget action pack.
And it's also just it's a change of pace from watching Game of Thrones and shit like that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Or it's just a different sort of style.
Yep.
But yeah, the way they talk is a little bit okay, I'm surprised they haven't said no cap or dead ass yet, but it's almost like that.
Probably, yeah.
So
yeah, I'm expecting them to whip out some meme terminology sooner or later.
You think so? I don't think so.
I just feel like it's just natural in the setting,
I don't know. Maybe if there was
the way they're talking.
Maybe if there was an existing Willow meme that they could slide in there. I don't know.
I don't think there is.
No, not really. But I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.